Fastest and slowest selling cars for the month of May 2024. The Jaguar I-Pace is the slowest selling new car in the United States of America. All this data is available back on CarEdge.com. The Jaguar I-Pace, Dad, a 575 days supply of inventory. That means, what does that
Yes.
mean, Dad? What does that mean? What does 575 days supply mean?
Well, it means that 575 days from now, they might have one left or none. But let's be fair. I mean, I believe it's a car they've done away with. So this is what's remaining of their I-Pace inventory nobody wanted before they decided to do away with the car. And now even less people want it. But, there's only 332 in the country. So.
But 45 in the past 45 days, only 26 have sold. So that's what market day supply is.
Yes.
That's how we determine fastest and slowest selling. The 575 days is how many days it would take based on the current sales rate for them to sell out of these vehicles. So let's go to the second slowest selling car in the United States of America right now, the Dodge Hornet. We've been talking about this vehicle. If you watch these videos, we do them monthly here on the CarEdge YouTube channel. The Dodge Hornet has been in the top 10 for a while now, a 550 days supply. There are 15,679 Hornets for sale nationwide, brand new.
Yes.
Yet only 1,283 have sold in the past 45 days. They haven't done away with the Hornet yet.
No, and one needs to survey 1,283 people to find out what it is that they saw in the Dodge Hornet that nobody else saw and that they decided they had to have it.
Well, that's what's somewhat interesting about these videos. I mean, I find it to be interesting, is the vehicles that are the slowest selling in the United States are typically the vehicles you can go negotiate the best deal on or have the biggest manufacturer or largest manufacturer incentives. Of course, you can negotiate on any vehicle, but when there's a 550 days supply of that vehicle and dealers have had multiple Dodge Hornets on their lot for over, 200, 300, 400 days, they're highly motivated to transact. Number 3, Dad, the third slowest selling vehicle in the United States of America, the Volvo C40, a 386 days supply. So a significant drop off from the Hornet and the Jaguar I-Pace. 1,485 for sale nationwide. 173 have sold in the last 45 days. Let's round out the top 5. The Nissan Titan. We know Nissans are struggling to sell.
Yes.
They've motivated their dealers to take on more inventory by, just writing them checks. That's how desperate they've gotten. A 305 days supply of that vehicle, 5,742 for sale. Only 847 have sold. And Chevy cracking the top 5 slowest selling vehicles in America. The Traverse with a 296 days supply right now. Nearly 12,000 for sale and 1,766 have sold in the past 45 days. Any surprises thus far?
Well, that must have something to do with the fact that the all-new Traverse is coming out, and it's a bigger, badder version of the old one. And the only surprise to me is literally that they found 1,283 people to buy a Hornet. My suggestion, if you're a Dodge dealer, is get a hold of Working Pest Control and see if they can take care of removing the rest of the Hornets from your property.
Big brain joke there, folks. Let's do the bottom of the list, Dad. These are your 6th through 10th slowest selling cars in the United States of America. Our first EV on the list, the Chevy Blazer EV, 274 days supply, nearly 8,000 for sale, 1,290 have sold in the last 45 days. Another Stellantis product, Jeep, the Wagoneer, 258 days supply, not moving quickly. The Lincoln Navigator, an expensive Ford product, 247 days supply. A Ram 2500 pickup, another Stellantis product, 231 days supply. And the Jeep Gladiator with a 219 day supply. There are 24,152 Jeep Gladiators for sale nationwide, and they haven't even sold 5,000 of them in the last 45 days. So a trend here, Stellantis, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, they continue to have multiple vehicles in the top 10 slowest selling in the United States of America. And I will mention the Ford Mustang Mach-E had been a stalwart. It had been on this list month after month after month. Kudos to you, Ford. You had to do 0% financing. You had to discount them excessively, but no longer a top 10 slowest selling vehicle and not the slowest selling EV. The Blazer has taken that crown.
Yep. There are any number of vehicles on there that are somewhat surprising, and then there's some on there that, well, are of no surprise at all.
All right, fastest selling vehicles in the United States of America right now. It is a Toyota Fest with a very expensive Land Rover at the top of the list. The fastest selling vehicle, second month in a row, the Land Rover Range Rover, a 20 days supply, Dad. 877 of them for sale nationwide, yet 2,006 have sold in the last 45 days.
Something about, I think people are buying multiple Range Rovers because they want to be able to drive one every day.
That just like, think about that for a second. 2006 have sold in the past 45 days, and there are only 877 available for sale right now. I mean, they are just
they
turning them, man.
Priced well north of $100,000. So, the well-heeled have to drive around in, well, a really luxurious Range Rover.
It is fascinating we're going to go through the rest of the list here in a second, but the fastest selling is a $100,000 plus SUV. And then the remainder of the list, for the most part, are Toyotas. Okay,
Yes.
So let's do this. The second fastest selling vehicle, it's tied with the third fastest selling vehicle, the Sienna and Camry. You've got 4,000 Siennas for sale nationwide, yet 8,000 plus have sold in the last 45 days. The Camry, you've got almost 24,000 for sale nationwide, yet almost 46,000 have sold in the last 45 days. Then you've got the Corolla with a 26-day supply, the Highlander with a 30-day supply, the RAV4 with a 31-day supply, and the Corolla Cross with a 36 days supply. That's a long list of Toyotas behind that Land Rover on your fastest selling vehicles in the US right now, but not too much surprise. Toyota's been hot for a long, long time. We just haven't seen them take this many positions in the top 10 list ever, I don't think.
Well, if there's some availability, the Toyotas are going to sell because that's the vehicle, the number one vehicle that people want, the number one vehicle that they search for, the number one vehicles that they're trying to find a deal on. And as long as Toyota keeps producing vehicles that people want, that have been quality vehicles throughout their history, they're going to continue to be on this list of the fastest selling vehicles out there. People want them. It's just proof positive. People will spend the money for the vehicles they want, and they're mostly very reasonably priced vehicles in today's world.
Absolutely. Then you have the Honda Civic coming in after that, and then a little bit of an abnormally. Oh my God.
An anomaly.
Excuse me. Abnormally. Admiration. Okay. Anyway, then you have the Honda Civic on the list, Dad, which makes sense. Very similar to the Toyotas. And then you have an anomaly with the Land Rover Range Rover Sport. But I guess it's not that much of an anomaly because the Range Rover is the fastest selling. So the Range Rover Sport being on here isn't too surprising. And then the Ford Maverick rounding out your top 10 fastest selling vehicles. Not surprised to see the Maverick on here. Not surprised to see a Honda on here. Not surprised to see all the Toyotas on here. I think you can summarize this fairly easily. Affordable vehicles that people want, luxury vehicle that people want. That's the two groups. Those are the two groups of fastest selling cars.
That's it. You're either in the luxury market or you're in the affordability market. And if you're in the affordability market, apparently you're looking at Toyota and Honda.
Fastest and slowest selling vehicles, use that information to help inform your negotiation. We can help you with your negotiations back at CarEdge.com and obviously here on the CarEdge YouTube channel. Pops, thank you as always for going through the numbers with me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, young man.